There have been a lot of conversations of late involving the Miami Hurricanes and who their future quarterback might be next season. And that conversation is going around because we are 8 games into this year. The transfer portal window will open up in the blink of an eye, and you got to be ready for it. You got to know who you're looking at, looking to pick up, if you're going to trust what you got or if you're going to make a decision to go for a transfer at the position. Carson Beck, as you know, is in his one and done season with the Miami Hurricanes. And before you know it, it will be done. And the Miami Hurricanes will have to know which way they're going. Let's talk about it right here. Welcome back, everyone, to another edition of Hurricanes Unfiltered, powered by Come On Now, the podcast. I'm your host, Rudy Rodriguez Showmont. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Appreciate y'all so very, very much. We're jumping into Syracuse later this afternoon. I've already talked about that game. Before we jump in on this, where in the world is my stuff? Right here. Here we go. If you haven't done so yet, man, go check out our merch site, man. Hurricanes Unfiltered merch. Appreciate y'all helping and supporting the channel by grabbing some merch. Again, I mean, this is all stitched uh, material. We got t-shirts, we got sweatshirts, we got hats. Go grab yourself some merch. Go over to Come On Now podcast.com. Come on now, podcast.com and go to the merch store and check it out, man. I appreciate y'all. And you can check out the description in the bio. The link is also in the bio for the merch store. Also, want to give a shout out, another big shout out to the sponsor of this show, Natalie Lopez, attorney at law. When life hits, law firm of Natalie Lopez hits back harder. A South Florida criminal defense law firm built on strategy and results. Call 954-888-8833 and follow at nat.guilty on Instagram. Prepare to conquer your case. We thank Natalie Lopez for her sponsorship of this show. Let's jump on in right now. The talk of the town has been LaNorris Sellers, the quarterback at South Carolina. Todd McShay has been hinting that LaNorris Sellers is looking at going to the transfer portal rather than to the NFL draft. And I think that's probably a good decision for LaNorris Sellers, just being real about it. Because when you look at his situation at the moment, he's been pretty pedestrian this year. And going into the portal will give him another opportunity to, up his stock, improve his opportunity. I mean, he's still only a sophomore, so he doesn't have to jump into the draft. Now, had he had a great season this year, he probably would be looking at jumping into the draft. However, that's not been the case. His completion percentage is down, his yards are down, his average per attempt is down, his quarterback rating is way down, his team is not very good. It's been a rough go this season for LaNorris Sellers. He's a very big and athletic quarterback, 6'3, 240. This season, he's thrown for 1,536 yards, 7 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, and a 58.2 QBR. Now, people, you're upset with Carson Beck? I just got to remind you, you're upset with Carson Beck. Let me give you a comparison of Carson Beck and LaNorris Sellers, just so you take this into proper perspective. Carson Beck has thrown for 1,947 yards, 14 touchdowns, 9 picks, and his QBR is 80.1. He's 17th in the country in QBR. LaNorris Sellers is 73rd, 58.2. So, yeah, you don't like Carson Beck right now. If you have a quarterback that performs like this next season, you will lose your minds. I'm not saying he would do that if he ended up in Miami. There's more talent in Miami, even though South Carolina's in the SEC. They had a close game against Bama that they gave away. They had a close game against Missouri. They've gotten blown out a number of times, including Vanderbilt, LSU. They couldn't move the ball, couldn't score. I mean, consider the fact that LaNorris Sellers have thrown for under 200 yards 4 times this season. Yeah, he hasn't had the greatest season. Now, change of environment, change of scenery could be beneficial to him. But the Miami Hurricanes are going to be left with a decision to make here. And he's one of the possibilities. And Todd McShay says that, yeah, this one is a possible landing spot for LaNorris Sellers, as you know, with the University of Miami. Todd McShay says there's a strong opinion in NFL scouting circles. He will be back in school next year. That he absolutely needs to for his development to be ready when called upon as a first round draft pick. Everyone is supporting the concept of he needs another year of college. There are people in his camp that are in agreement from what I'm told. Now, I'm sure South Carolina fans don't want to hear that, but things that at South Carolina, I mean, South Carolina is the bottom of the barrel when it comes to the SEC. Like they're mid to the bottom. I mean, they're not anywhere near the top. And McShay says, I'm not here to say there's collusion. I promise you, no one said a word. But one person started putting the dots together. There's a place in South Florida where they've done a really nice job of handpicking quarterbacks the last 2 years, and they've seen ascensions in their game. Miami's a program to be very cautious of. If I'm Shane Beamer and the Gamecocks program of trying to come in with an offer that's very difficult to refuse. Obviously, the Canes had Cam Ward last year, and this year they have Carson Beck. And obviously, whoever they bring down here next season will be someone that is going to get paid some bread, right? Now, another option, and this is an option that I've been told is almost a done deal. I've been told this is pretty much a done deal that he will be in Miami next year, and that's CJ Bailey at NC State. CJ Bailey is from South Florida. He went to Chaminade Madonna High School. He was teammates with JoJo Trader and Jeremiah Smith. The fact that Miami made the decision to not go with CJ Bailey a couple of years ago probably cost them Jeremiah Smith. If Miami recruits CJ Bailey, Jeremiah Smith is playing in Miami right now. And this is one of the things that the Miami Hurricanes have made a mistake of many, many times. And just because you think a guy might not be good enough for your program, getting that guy if you get that guy to get those guys or that guy, you might want to get that guy just to get that dude. So if you want Jeremiah Smith, you probably should have gotten CJ Bailey, and you would have had this trio that went to Chaminade and was a monster program was on part of main parts of a monster program at Chaminade. CJ Bailey is 6'6", 210. He's having a solid season right now for NC State, coming off of a big win over Georgia Tech, 2,411 yards passing, 19 touchdowns, 7 picks, and 81.3 QBR, 14th in the country. Right now, the NC State Wolfpack is sitting at 5-3. They play Miami actually next Saturday down here. They did get beat up pretty good by Notre Dame, but they lost to Pitt by 19. Lost to Virginia Tech was a bad loss for them. They got beat by 12 by Duke, but he has had he threw for 318 against East Carolina. Duke, he threw for 364. Threw 3 picks in that game. Remember, people, you get really hard on somebody about picks, and then other people throw them too. Just as a reminder, he threw for 337 against Campbell. He threw for 340 against Georgia Tech this past week. CJ Bailey's a solid quarterback, and he's from South Florida, and I'm told this one's a done deal. So we'll see if it's a done deal or not. But if you had to give me the option of the 2 quarterbacks, and this is where I'm going to go a little bit deeper into it. If you had to give me the option of these 2 quarterbacks, which one would I be looking at? I would be looking at CJ Bailey. If you're giving me the pick one, I'm taking CJ Bailey. And I'm going to tell you why. One, the South Florida connection is real. He is from South Florida. Him coming here would probably keep JoJo Trader in a Miami Hurricane uniform. I don't think JoJo Trader is here next year without CJ Bailey being down here. I think JoJo Trader ends up transferring. That's just being real. I don't think his experience down here has been enjoyable or fun, especially not playing much of this season. You know, I want to see that guy flourish down here, and that might be the way to keep him down here is to bring over his friend and quarterback from high school who knows him, who's comfortable with him, and could potentially get the best out of him. Now, you look at it from a perspective of the guys that you currently have on the roster at quarterback, and obviously you have Luke Nickel, who was recruited to come here, and we haven't seen a quarterback who's been recruited to come here play in a bit. It's one of those things where the quarterback position, it's becoming slippery with the quarterback position. Do you want to wait to see what you're going to get out of a guy? With the portal now, these guys will take off if they don't play quickly. So you don't have an opportunity to really develop them. Emory Williams is a redshirt sophomore. I don't think he'll ever play another meaningful down at Miami. I don't really get why he is the backup. I think that you probably should have had Luke Nickel at backup. Uh, just my thought. He probably should have been the backup this year and gotten these reps that they've given to Emory Williams. And then, of course, next year, you're looking at, on the recruiting board. On the recruiting board, of course, Miami has the commitment of Dereon. I'm gonna say not Deron. Dereon Coleman. Now, Dereon Coleman's a 3-star quarterback out of Orlando Jones. He's a very athletic and talented kid, but he is really small. And I don't know how far along a 6 foot, 165-pound quarterback's going to get you. I don't. I just don't know how far along a 6 foot, 165-pound QB is going to go. Like that's not an NFL quarterback. He could be a solid college quarterback. I mean, he's a crazy good high school quarterback. He's high level in high school, but this ain't high school. And he is the only quarterback that Miami has signed right now in this class. So you have to make that decision. Do you want to bring in a transfer? I think there's a fear of starting one of these guys who have no experience at all. You're not start Emory Williams will not be the quarterback here next year. And I'm not trying to take a dump on the dude, but he's not going to be the quarterback here next year. I would expect him to jump in the portal honestly as well. And I don't think he'll be in Miami next year. I think the guy wants to play, and I think he's good enough to play in certain situations in certain places, but this is not the place. Not if you want to win a national championship, by no means. This is not the place if you want to win a national championship. Question now becomes transfer or guy on roster or freshman. And I mean, they're not going to start Dereon Coleman here next year as a freshman. That's not going to happen. It will not happen. Luke Nichols got no opportunity this year. So again, you're going in blind. So I think the best course of action is to go the direction of bringing in a transfer quarterback. However, I want to see a quarterback that has 2 years of eligibility. In the case of both of these guys, they both have that eligibility. So they both have 2 years left. However, I think CJ Bailey's the play. I think CJ Bailey's the absolute play. He is the local guy. He's 6'6". He has a good arm. He's been performing at a high level this season, whereas LaNorris Sellers has regressed incredibly. You go look at CJ Bailey from year 1 to year 2. Freshman year last year, he was 196 for 302 for 2,413 yards, 64.9 completion percentage. This season, he's 203 for 287 for 70.7 completion percentage, and he's got 2,411 yards, and he's still got 4 games left. He's got 19 touchdowns to 17 last year. This kid's gonna probably finish with over 30 touchdowns. His quarterback rating is 158.3. Again, his QBR is 81.3, top 15 in the country. And he's an athletic guy, so he can get out and make some plays with his feet. He's not incredibly mobile, but he is mobile enough. He's not a track star. He's not going to go break you 50, 100, 50-yard, 150-yard runs and nothing like that, but he's going to, he's a good solid guy who, when you put them with, I mean, we can be real once again. Miami has more talent than North Carolina State, man. We keep getting into these conversations about talent levels, and the Miami Hurricanes have far more talent than, I mean, I'm gonna be real, every team in the conference. And that's a and that's the biggest problem, is that despite having the most talent in the conference, and it's not remotely close, they seem to find a way to lose to teams that are constantly lesser than them, way lesser than them with talent. So the question then becomes, oh, could he leave after a year? It's possible. If he blows up, it is very possible that he is only a 1 year quarterback here and he does take off for the NFL draft. So that is the possibility. That is the risk you take. LaNorris Sellers is turning pro after next year because he's actually going to be a 5th-year player, whereas CJ Bailey is going to, like, so CJ Bailey is going to his 3rd year. Sellers is going to his 4th year because he's a redshirt sophomore. That is, you know, so Sellers is out of here no matter what. I think Sellers is gone unless wherever he goes, he doesn't perform at all, and then maybe he goes back for a 5th year. If that was to happen down here, people would be very, very unforgiving. I think they'd be more forgiving of giving CJ Bailey some time because he's local, and we really gotta start focusing on these local guys, man. It's becoming concerning to me that you have these receivers that you have that are local guys. Like we breed wide receiver speed talent down here, and yet we keep going away to get other players to take their spots. And I don't know if they're really good enough to take their spots or not. I don't know. I know that I watched JoJo Trader play on Saturday, and he looked pretty damn good. I mean, minus the one mistake, he looked pretty damn good. You know, and I think if you want to keep Trader in Miami, CJ Bailey needs to be down here. So I think there's a number. It's a multifaceted conversation. And then let's say, for example, you have the following: you have CJ Bailey down here for. Let's say you have CJ Bailey down here for 2 years. First, you get 2 years, you get 24 plus games, and you get a guy, whoever that is, with a chance to develop behind him. I am I am not for oh I am on the portal when it comes to quarterbacks, preferably with 2 years of availability, 2 years of eligibility, not one. And but I'm also of the mindset of developing the guy behind him. That to me is still of utter importance. If you look at Alabama, Ty Simpson is a recruit of Alabama. He's not a portal, he's not a portal guy. He signed with Alabama. He's been at Alabama and he's earned his way up the charts at Alabama. He's a junior now. He's having a monster season in terms of numbers. I mean, 20 touchdowns to only one pick. I mean, that's pretty incredible. The one pick, 81.6 QBR, 2,184 yards, and he obviously he's been there. This is his 4th year. So he's actually a redshirt junior. So he sat for 3 seasons. Reality is a lot of these guys won't sit for 3 seasons. A lot of these guys won't sit for 2. They don't trust the coaches enough. They don't trust the system enough. And I think they don't trust themselves enough. And they see this is their opportunity. They have to take advantage of it. It's like a microwavable society. They want to get in as they want to be in and out as quickly as possible. So, but Ty Simpson is an example of a guy that's been at Alabama now in his 4th year, and he's pretty damn good. Do I think he's a great quarterback? No, I don't. But he's great for what they need. And the numbers all aside, people are completely glazed this guy like he's the greatest thing since sliced bread. I mean, he's done a good job. He's done a good job. And I do think that you have to at some point maybe go back to some type of development of guys that you bring in, because at the end of the day you recruited them. You signed these guys. You saw something in these guys coming out of high school that made you want them. Like, I'll be real, if I'm a quarterback, I don't want to sign it. I don't want to sign at these schools that are, at a high school that are just always jumping into the portal for a quarterback. I wouldn't want to sign there. So I do think, so I have mixed feelings about the portal and signing freshman quarterback and development of quarterback. I understand both sides. I really do. I'm very open minded to it. I think that if Dereon Coleman is not given an opportunity to play after his sophomore year, I think he's out of here. I don't know that he stays for three. I don't know that he stays for a third year to fight for a job that he might or might not get. I don't know. I don't know. So, because back in the day, if you remember Miami, remember it was Bernie Kosar to Vinny Testaverde to Steve Walsh to Craig Erickson to Gino Torretta, etc. Like these guys were every 2 years, you learn, jump in, boom, you're ready to roll. And they were always ready to roll. That was what made it so special. These guys were always ready to play. They were already ready to play. They'd gotten the reps the year before as a backup. They had a little bit of experience, and they got all these weapons around them, and they're ready to roll. So, do we ever go back to that? Go back that way? I don't know. But if you're going to give me the option of next year, CJ Bailey, LaNorris Sellers, I'm going to CJ Bailey, and I don't even think it's a conversation. But y'all let me know y'all thoughts in the comments. Hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Ring the bell. Appreciate y'all. We will be live tomorrow from the Hard Rock doing a live watch party from where I sit. So jump on board. We'll be shooting the shit and having a good time. I will not be able to put the stat box on the screen because I'm going through my iPad because that has a lot longer lasting battery life than my laptop. And my laptop there aren't any plugs there where I sit. So my laptop would be dead before halftime or maybe just after halftime. So I will be there, and I hope y'all jump on board, man. I appreciate y'all as always. This is Hurricanes Unfiltered, powered by Come On Now, the podcast. Come on now.